Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Beyond Disabilities. Today I'm joined by the brilliant, my brilliant guest today is Lola. I'll edit this. Lola is a writer, filmmaker, and actor who has functional neurological disorder. Thank you for joining me today. Please, can you introduce yourself, Lola?
I'm Lola, and I spend more time procrastinating than actually doing anything productive.
Nothing wrong with procrastination, as long as you're happy. That's the main thing. And even
Yeah,
procrastinating,
relatively.
it can be a productive procrastinating. So my first question is, please can you describe what functional neurological disorder is and how does it affect you on a daily basis?
That is so hard to answer because I have like so many analogies for what it is, so people like understand. And at this moment in time, I can't think of one of them, which is very, very productive of a day. Um, it's kind of like your brain just doesn't want to function. You can send it instructions, but it kind of decides whether it wants to, listen to them or not. You can say, I want to do this, and your brain goes, nah, nah, you're not doing that. And then it'll just send you loads of random symptoms, what it wants. At the moment, because it's winter, it is my legs want to lock in place, which
Bless you.
having to try and explain it to my friend, I was like, it's like somebody bolted two of my bones together and I couldn't move. Tremors. I pretty much got tremors always. I mean, for some reason they're not even shaky today, but my legs pretty bad. But usually I get like loads of blackouts and things, but I'm on meds, so I haven't really been getting as many.
Well, that's
But
good.
it's very temperamental, a body. Very, very temperamental.
Oh, wow, it sounds really complex, and I mean, from what you're saying to me, it sounds like there's not sort of one sort of straight way it can affect you. It can affect you many ways, sends the signals it wants to do rather than the ones that you want it to do. Um,
Yeah.
would you be able to explain how you got diagnosed with functional neurological disorder?
Basically, I knew something was wrong for like a long time, but nobody believed us. They were just like, oh, it's anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, no, there's something wrong with us. Like, there just is. And I don't think I noticed when it had actually started because there was so much going on. It was my GCSE year. So obviously, like, the focus was everywhere
Yeah.
else. And I was like, oh, it's just probably because I'm stressed, blah, blah, blah. And then when I got to like, I think it was 2018, it was just after Beast from the East.
Yeah.
And like literally, I think the snow was just clearing, and me and a few friends were going to go to the park and do a photo shoot in the snow. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to the toilet before I leave. And then like I look in the mirror, I can't see anything, and I nearly end up passed out on the floor. And I was like,
Oh, no.
what is going on here? And then like I was suddenly like really ill for like 2 weeks, and it's the longest I'd ever been ill. No idea what it was. Nobody could answer it. And it was just like, what is happening? And then after that, I just was never the same again. I was just like, I just didn't feel like me. And my body was so overreactive to everything. I was
Yeah.
constantly just like I couldn't do anything that I used to be able to do. And it was just sudden. It was just like so onset, like I couldn't believe it. And yeah, then for like I got put on meds that year. So
Yeah.
then nothing. It they were that strong, I would say. They basically wiped out all my symptoms.
Oh, to hear that.
And then when I came off them because I stopped working, it was really like the worst thing ever. Every single day was like, it was just hell. I'd wake up on edge and I'd just get symptom after symptom. Some days, like my legs were just choosing not to work. They were so numb and it
Yeah.
felt like paralysis because I couldn't move. It was just, I could feel it like cold. That was just it. And then I was just on edge and it was just, I didn't know what was going on. I thought, oh, like I must be like this or like, oh,
Yeah.
it just took over and I just wasn't functioning. I was like, I could barely go to work anymore, and it was just absolute torture. And then I was having episodes which, like, it basically, the episodes started, but I didn't know what it was in like 2018.
Must have been scary.
8 hours or more of throwing up, hallucinating, delusions, and then like I would be shaking so badly. But like after a certain time, it got kind of worse because I just black out. But to me, I think I prefer being blacked out than, being present in it all. Because I know what's going on and I
Yeah.
know it's not real, but like I can't stop it.
Oh, wow. That sounds really
Yeah.
scary. Oh, wow.
It's I think the scariest part is when I see like ghosts and stuff, but sometimes my logical thinking is completely shut off.
Yeah,
So if anything comes into my head, like even bad, my brain won't tell us to not do it. It'll be like there was a time where somebody was whistling to us and trying to get us to go outside,
yeah.
like in the middle of the night.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I was like, I think I should. And my friend was on phone call at the time. He was like, don't. He's like, don't do that. But it was like so convincing to go and, go for a wander. And it's not great.
No, that doesn't. That sounds like really terrifying, especially like it started as well, like a crucial point in sort of your development and sort of in your life doing your GCSEs as well. Didn't realize it could affect you like no, partially from what you've told me in like previous chats with hallucinations, but I didn't realize that it could totally take over sort of your brain and convince you that the hallucinations are real and convince you to do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do.
Yeah, it's very like sometimes like there's one which I only remember because I sometimes used to write them down afterwards.
Yeah.
My mum got up and she'd come from the bedroom and I just went, demon. Like it just didn't like this. And when I look at like other things, like I've got notes from the crisis team and when I rang them, and apparently I said there was giant frogs everywhere.
Oh wow.
I mean, that one's kind of funny to be
Yeah.
honest, but like, yeah,
Still like
I was like, what? I think the first time that I'd actually scared someone like completely was my best friend was staying over mine and we're supposed to be doing like filming the next
yeah.
day. And something triggered us. I think it was something related to trauma. I don't know what. And it just set us off. And in the middle of the night, like I was awake because I couldn't sleep. And my friend was asleep on the sofa, but I saw her standing up and I'm like, what are you doing? It's the middle of the
Yeah.
night. And then I woke her up and she's like, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? I was like, you were standing right there. And she was like, I was asleep.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Understandably, I can understand why you'd be scared and why she'd be scared as well. Wow, it's an interesting. I don't know if interesting is the right word, but it is sort of probably the
It
most
is interesting.
interesting addition.
Yeah, like during that time, I can kind of like project myself wherever I want. So I can try and ground myself to something. And the thing that I ground myself to is Metro Center in like the 2000s.
Yeah,
And because it was so like my childhood. So I'll end up going there, but I can walk around it like it's still there and remember things that I've totally forgotten. It's creepy
wow,
but weird.
creepy but weird, but
Uh,
in a good way, kind of like
yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, potentially it might have some strengths in life. I'm not sure if it affects your memory in that way in a potentially good way. I
My
don't know.
me I don't know, but my memory is absolutely horrendous. Like people, I got asked, they were like, "Oh, like it was in a universal credit meeting thing," and she was like, "Oh, I see that there's a payment into your account from like May," and I was like, "I can't remember last week." I was like, "I can't remember anything."
Wow. Do you remember sort of what your reactions at the time were when you were first diagnosed and also your family's reactions as well?
It was like, "What is it?" That was literally everyone's reaction, but I'd heard of it
Yeah.
because someone on TikTok had it. But like I had a feeling because I'd done my own research because I knew I
Yeah.
wasn't crazy. So I'd researched into every single thing. And like when I was looking through that, I was like, that does sound like it would be. But I didn't want to go in with like, I know this is this. But when I got diagnosed, I was like, oh well, it's nice to know that I'm not stupid and I got
Absolutely.
validated, I guess. It was just like the thing they said was like, well, if you stay positive, it'll go away. Except it doesn't go away. There's so much research like out there, which is came out afterwards, I believe, and it's came from like Massachusetts, and it shows in some fMRI scans, which you can't get an fMRI one here, so
No.
expensive. It shows that there's white matter damage, and depending on where the white matter is damaged, is what
Yeah.
symptoms you get. And I feel like for me, although I've got pictures of my MRI on there because I wanted it so
Oh,
badly
definitely.
because
I
I'm a
think so.
weirdo.
Oh, not at
It
all.
li-
It's interesting.
so people were like, it looks like there's a person sitting with a bow on the head in your brain. I was like, nice,
Yeah.
fun. Now I'm not gonna like unsee
Yeah.
that, but yeah, I feel like it's on my right side that's worse because felt it again. My leg locks on the left side, but I get marks all over my body on my right side only, and it's really annoying.
Can imagine. Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at least it was nice. Like, obviously, you do your acting and your writing and producing as well. Like, at least like you don't sort of let it dehabilitate you completely, and sort of like you push forward and sort of do what you want to do, which is really nice to hear. Um, my next question is you were diagnosed during GCSE. Sort of did your school support you anyway? Did you have any challenges at school?
Basically, I wasn't diagnosed then, but it
Oh, okay.
started
Oh,
then.
okay. So
So I was diagnosed like last year.
yeah,
Um, the school knew there was something wrong, but then I got diagnosed with the wrong thing, which was autism. And I'm still trying to get rid of it
yeah,
because they didn't realize how traumatized I was at that point, like absolutely traumatized to the point that's what created it.
yeah.
So it was just like, yeah, so now I'm trying to get rid of it. And I can't. But the school tried to support us in the way they could, but also some teachers were absolutely like horrible. And
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, I had to go into therapy for it years later because I just couldn't get over it. It was just, it's still stuck in my mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry to hear that. Like, especially like with a misdiagnosis as well. Like they want to support you, but they're supporting you in the wrong way for the wrong thing.
Yeah, it was just like when I looked, like after years, I'm just like, wait, why don't I relate? Like I didn't know better at the time, and there
Yeah,
was like obviously a lot less knowledge in like 2018 compared like now, knowledge is everywhere. And I didn't know any better. So I was like, oh, I guess it is, I was
yeah.
naive. And over the time, I'm like, wait, I'm not ADHD. Like, I score so high on ADHD. It's like, yeah, like who scores 48 out of 50? Like,
Pretty much near set. I'm not medically trained, but I guarantee.
I'm just like, wow, isn't that obvious? And then I just look at my school reports. My school reports just read out like symptoms.
Yeah. Ah, well, fingers crossed. Hopefully, you get the autism diagnosis taken off, and if you want it, hopefully you get the ADHD
Hopefully.
diagnosis put on there.
Yeah, I'm waiting for ADHD 360 to get back to us.
Fingers
Uh,
crossed. Hopefully, their wait list will reduce.
no. Yeah, it says January maybe.
Oh, that's
I
good.
don't
That's good
know.
to aim for. That's only a couple
Yeah,
month and a half away.
it was weird though, because when I went on, there's all these things you have to complete, and one of them was staring at objects changing on a screen, and if the were two together the same, yeah, click for 20 minutes or 20
Oh
minutes.
wow,
I
that's
was
a long
literally
time.
losing my mind. I literally was like, right, I'm putting music on at the same time.
Don't
It says
blame you.
don't do anything else, and I was like, I can't.
I mean,
I
if
was like,
that
I have to.
sort of proves it, doesn't it? If you can't sort
Yeah,
of
I
like
was
sit still for 20 minutes, and my brother's got ADHD, so I was like, I do understand.
Yeah, my friend was in the room as well, and I was just like, mate, it's horrible. I was like, I can't. He was like, I couldn't stare at a screen. I was like, it hurts my eyes because it was bright white, and I was like,
Oh,
this is
blinding.
horrible.
Oh,
Yeah, at the same time.
oh, that doesn't sound nice at all. I feel for you there, and I'd be the same. Like I couldn't just stare at a white screen. It would hurt my eyes too. Um,
Yeah.
does your FND bring positives to your created work? If so, how does it bring positives, if any?
I would say it gives a unique story for my work, which is what I'm doing at the moment. I'm also using my work to show awareness and also to raise money for the FND charities to hopefully get more research done. Like there's no cure, there's
No.
no treatment essentially. Although people are getting treatment for like various little symptoms, there's not really anything. There's no medication. I
Yeah,
mean, the ones that I'm on, the only two that have actually eliminated symptoms was citalopram, and at the
yeah,
moment I'm on venlafaxine, and these are the only ones that have eliminated enough symptoms for us to be able to function. Like without meds, absolute. Like people couldn't see us for a long time because I couldn't leave
no,
the house. I was
oh,
just
no.
completely a wreck every single day.
Oh,
Yeah, I had to pretend to be okay for a long time because I didn't want to put it on everyone because I was like, oh no, it's
bless you.
happening again. I was like, because it feels like people have had enough, if you get what I mean. Like people are like, oh, it's coming back, so
Oh.
she's she's not the same person and blah blah blah. And it's just like, oh well.
People could just be more understanding, the world would be a nicer place. but it just
Yeah.
shows how good of a person you are by not wanting to um sort of put the pressure on with people and sort of make people do it. But I mean, like I said, like it does. You are trying to turn it into a positive, like with your fundraising, um, with the medicine. Unfortunately, yeah, it's a shame that there's not sort of a medicine to help sort of alleviate all of the symptoms or sort of for the treat the condition itself rather than just individual symptoms. But in a good positive way, I suppose. Like, at least it's helping a little bit, just a tiny bit, and hopefully with more awareness and more research, then in the future, hopefully the condition will be treatable.
Yeah, you never know. That's the thing. There's always something going on somewhere. But yeah, all you can do is kind of hope. And I kind of put it out of my mind because sometimes you can, if you think, oh, like there's nothing that can be done,
Yeah.
it gets you even further down. So I'm just currently trying to focus on other things and ignoring it. That's what I do my best to ignore it until it stares us in the face, and then I'm like, oh wait, now I have to deal with it.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's helping you, it helps. That's the main thing. Like, otherwise, you could sort of just be focused on it and not do anything that you want to do. So, there is nothing wrong with ignoring it. And like you said, until it becomes a problem, I'm sure doctors would say the opposite of that. And I'm not advising anyone, but if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just like I feel like having well, the last time when something started going wrong, I was like in the gym and I'm like enjoying
Yeah.
myself, and then I'm like, oh, I was like, I feel a bit dodgy. But this is like the dysautonomia, which is kind of like the system of the body.
Yeah.
It kind of like it stopped regulating, and that's what I've got inside
Oh,
of FND. So it's kind of like it came and I was like, oh, I was like, it's staring us in the face now. I was like, I'm gonna have to like, so I went and sat in the changing rooms because I was like, I feel horrible. I was like, I'm not gonna throw up in the gym.
no,
Luckily, I managed to dodge that one.
that's good. Oh, so at least it's
That would
good
have
it's
been
not.
embarrassing. That's
I
what I'm
know,
most
but you
scared
couldn't
of.
have helped it though, even if you did though. Like, I mean, it's good that you're recognizing the signs, and it's good that you sort of take yourself out of that situation and you sort of recognize it to try and help yourself. And it's a good trait to have.
Yeah, all of the times that I wanted to go to medical school coming in handy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just hilarious how that's what I wanted to do, and then the opposite happened. Like,
you are the patient.
yes, I know, it's too funny. It's honestly really hilarious.
What did you want to do at medical school? What did you want to become?
I don't know. I think I wanted to be a nurse, and then my friend at the time basically said, no, you don't. You're like more creative than that. So she kind of talked us out of it. She was like, you'd not really be good at it because you kind of up yourself in a way. She was like, you don't really care about anything. I was like, I
Oh wow,
do,
backhanded compliment in a way.
kind of. Yeah. I
You're
don't
too up
know.
yourself. You could. I don't think you're up yourself. I think you are very, very creative, and I think you're sort of in the right industry and sort of doing your own like projects. I think that's the right choice. But I wouldn't say you're up yourself.
No, I think I was like a bit delulu back then, kind of. So yeah, I think I would say I was like a very Cloud9 person before
Yeah.
life hit us and smacked us right down to rock bottom.
Oh, bless you. I'm sure you would have been a great nurse if you were to become a nurse.
It's funny because I don't think I like blood that much.
That's fair enough. That's not the nicest thing, is it? I'm sure you could just ask to be taken off. I know you can't. I've got friends who are nurses and they do everything and anything, but you could try.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so warm in here. The heat just came on.
Oh, well, at least you're less cold after going to Aldi.
Yeah, it was nice though going shopping in the dark because all the lights were on and Christmas
Oh,
trees and stuff.
sounds lovely. Proper Christmas feeling.
Yeah, I'm not really a Christmassy person. I like lights though,
You like that?
except when they're
You're a
staring
mom.
us in the face. Yeah, I don't like bright
Yeah.
lights, but I like lights in the dark.
No, I
Love
can
it.
appreciate that. Like as someone with autism, like bright lights just overwhelm me. But I do appreciate sort of like you said, lights in the dark where it just has a nice atmosphere.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. It just feels warm.
Yeah, it makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Mhm.
So please
Yeah.
tell me, how does your functional neurological disorder, if it does, impact any friendships that you have?
Well, I've got like quite a lot of support system, but
Yeah.
time. You've got the people who are like, when are you going to change? Like, when's it going to go away? Kind of thing, or just get on with it. Which luckily I've kind of isolated and got rid of a few
Yeah.
people who kind of think like that. But the worst thing is when someone doesn't know how it can affect us. And yeah, sometimes when an episode is coming,
Yeah.
I get very angry and agitated, and my brain
Understandable.
just goes wild, and I can literally say anything, and it comes off so bad, and I feel really horrible for it. But like, people don't realize that it's not really me. It's kind of
No.
like it comes over us, and I can't control it anymore. And like, I'll apologize after, but some people don't realize what it is, and that, yeah. I mean, I try my best. I try my best to like hold it in, but
Yeah.
if the like illogical, like the logic part goes off, that's like it.
You're
And
not
I'm
in
like, oh
control though.
no. Yeah, I'm like, oh, that was bad. That was so bad. And then I'm like, everyone hates us now. Like, oh,
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sure that's not true, but it's not like you said. It's not your fault though. It's like your logic part just like you said, it just goes away and sort of you can't really control it. But you do apologize, so that's the main thing. Even though you don't really need to, but it's nice that you do.
Yeah, it's just like I know that people have like talked about that in a way, and it's just like, oh, like it makes us feel horrible because
Yeah.
even though I have apologized and stuff, like I'm not bitchy
No.
most of the time. I mean, there's the odd times when you're like hormonal, but like apart from like, it just like drives us because it's like it feels like demonic possession.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Somebody takes over us, and like I'm gone. I'm like trapped inside, looking at it just causing destruction.
Oh, that's a good way of
Yeah,
describing it. It sounds horrible, but it's a good way of describing it. Like there's you, and then there's sort of the FND demon, if you like.
yeah, it's bad because that time was kind of caught on camera, and
Yeah.
my friend was doing behind the scenes, and there's just me sitting there like, oh, rolling my eyes,
Yeah.
like proper moody, and I'm like, oh God.
Bless you. It's not your fault though. Like you can't help it.
Yeah, I wish I could. I feel like I should just tape myself off, but I sometimes feel like I've got no choice.
Like a werewolf, just chain yourself.
I just sort of like, I want to walk away from this, but then I can't.
Yeah,
I hate that though. I hate when you feel like so trapped in certain situations that you can't really put yourself first.
it must be awful, but I'm sure hopefully deep down they know that it's not you. It's not you saying these things. You don't want to say them. You just have no control of
I
your
don't know.
disorder.
I don't know. Some people prefer not to understand. Sadly, that's the
That's
world.
sad. Unfortunately, you are right. Which is sad, and but hopefully there are good people out there.
Yeah, there are. There's people who will like fight my back for this.
Exactly, and they're the people who want to sort of. Which leads me to my next question, actually. Like, have you or your friends had to make any adjustments to each other's behavior to sort of support you with your functional neurological disorder?
Basically just like, if I cancel plans, just please leave it alone. Don't go like, oh, like blah 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 this, like, oh, it's just cancelled. And it's like sometimes I literally have no choice. Like,
Yeah,
I've had to cancel with like 3 hours notice at like 5 a.m., sometimes 4 a.m. in the morning because I'd been up the entire night
yeah,
and I was an absolute mess. I was like, I don't think anybody would want this because sometimes the day after is the worst because I'm on a high,
yeah,
like the energy comes back up, and then I'm on a high, and oh, that's how I cut off all my hair
yeah,
because I think it was like last year in November, I had an episode just after my birthday, and then the
yeah.
next day I was so delusionally high. I'm like, I'm gonna cut off loads of my hair, so I got the hairdressers and I got like loads of hair cut off. And then I was like, I hate it. I hate it so much. Like my hairdresser was like, she's like, this is a lot. I was like, it's fine. It's gonna grow back. And oh,
Oh
she
no.
just knew. She knew.
But again, it
Uh,
wasn't you. Like, I'm sure you didn't want that amount of hair cut off. Like again, it was the condition. Like your logic just goes away.
I just sometimes I'm like, oh no, 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 no. I look back at the photos and I'm like, what did I do? Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah, my
God, what
friends are
happened?
pretty chill. Yeah. It also comes with kind of brutal honesty at times, which,
Yeah.
sometimes is a good thing.
No, I agree. Sometimes you need that to sort of like round you and sort of like put you, like check on you and just make sure that, are you sure this is a good idea?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like I've become that friend where like if something's wrong, I'm just gonna see it because if nobody else is seeing it, like what consequence does it have later down the line or whatever?
Exactly, like you do need people and friends like that because, like, for example, if you walk past a broken window, nobody says anything, it will just always be broken. Like, I know that's a cheesy analogy, but you need that sort of like with friendships.
Yeah, it's like if there was broken glass on the floor and you didn't tell someone.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah. Oh, like I don't even know.
That's true.
Oh,
Like, nothing wrong with brutal honesty.
yeah,
Like, you're saying it
I'm
because
just
you care.
yeah, I do care and I kind of don't want to ruin things sometimes, but like sometimes you have to ruin things to get on the right path.
Absolutely. You're just steering them onto sort of like to make them better and to help them in the long run.
Yeah. Mostly with continuity, honestly. I'm like a whiz with continuity. I can
Yeah,
tell that if like I just know. I just know when something's not like if the lighting's a tiny bit wrong, I know.
I get that.
But nobody else sees it. Nobody sees it but me. And I'm like, the lighting's wrong, right? Like this and this. And then people don't like that. So
Oh, but that's you being sort of a good producer and a good editor, isn't it? Just picking up
I'm
on
not
that.
a good editor. Don't say I'm a good
Okay,
editor. I'm really
I had a
not.
very good producer then. Good lead.
Yeah. I just notice a lot of things. Always have.
It's a good trait to have because you want it to be like the best it can be. And if the lighting's off, like I know from my experience working in TV, that it just ruins the whole thing. Like people will
Mhm.
notice, and even if they don't notice, you'll know. And then if it goes out, then you'll realize it doesn't look as good.
Yeah, I'm really, really picky at times.
Nothing wrong with that. Like they're your projects, which again, you're very good with these segues. What projects are you currently working on? If you
I'm
can say.
working on a documentary which is about my old school because it's getting knocked down and it's been there for like 60, nearly 70 years. So that's a lot of history. So I was like, it deserves to be like documented.
Definitely.
No one else was going to do it. Nobody else, like, they didn't care. And I was like, I care. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. But then I'm also doing a little unknown project, which I'm not really announcing yet. I'm
No
not
problem.
announcing it until I'm actually done with
Yeah.
something this time. I just don't want to curse it. And yeah, I'm working on that. I'm just waiting to hear back from one of the locations, but they are interested. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm kind of nervous as well. I'm really, really nervous, but
Oh,
excited. I bought loads of props yesterday in the Black Friday sale.
oh, good time
Well,
to do it. Bargain.
yeah, like absolute levels of bargain. I was like, wowza. I was like, that's going straight
Right.
in my basket.
Don't blame you. You might as well do it now. Like now on the New Year's sales, like perfect time to get things, especially for props and things. They'll be dead cheap.
Yeah, I just insane sometimes. I've got nowhere to put them.
Oh, bless you. They'll come in useful when you finally start the projects and they sound really, really exciting. And where can people find out more about your projects and also functional neurological disorder?
I would say like Visionette Media, but also my Instagram, Lola Maria, but Maria has two R's. I've got like a little highlight, so like if
Yeah.
something happens, I'll just like document it along the way. But yeah, I mostly post everything on my page now. I can't be bothered to manage so many social medias. Oh, I nearly dropped something and I just caught it with my
Oh,
left
that was
hand.
impressive. That was a good
I'm
catch. I
proud of
saw that.
that.
That's brilliant.
I'm clumsy.
I've got dyspraxia. I live clumsiness. I know.
Yeah, I've got bruises everywhere that I don't know what I've done.
You might have dyspraxia as well. I'm not diagnosing,
Probably.
but
People have said it.
coincides with ADHD.
Yeah. I nearly tipped off the stool by moving my
Oh
leg,
no.
but whatever.
Gonna have
Yeah.
to get health
Oh,
insurance for you. Just call an ambulance live.
my leg just cracked.
Oh no. That's,
That's funny.
It is funny. That it's good that you see the funny side in it and that you do laugh. Because if you don't laugh, you'll cry. But it's good. You have a very good attitude and sort of outlook with FND.
Yeah, I think at the point where I've like seen it all and I'm like, good one.
Yeah.
It feels like its own personality.
Yeah.
So I've got to understand it. I've got so many like funny examples. I'll be like, oh, I'm loving a day. And then it's like, oh yeah. I'm like, what?
What are you
And it's
gonna
like,
do?
It's literally like, it's like, I'm gonna ruin your life.
It'd be a shame if something happened.
hmm It just like teases and I'm like, wait. And then I'm paranoid because I'm like,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen? And then like sometimes nothing happens. It just like gives us all this hype and then there's nothing.
Oh no.
I'm like, I'm like, what was that?
It's a
We get
good
us
thing.
paranoid for that entire day for nothing.
But yeah, like you said, it was like definitely put anxiety into overdrive. Like when you think something's going to happen and nothing did, put you on edge.
Yeah, I'm already like paranoid about so many different things, so it doesn't help. Yeah,
Oh,
I ended up being more scared of myself than anything in the world. Yeah, except I'm not really now. I'm kind of used to it. I'm like, come on then. I'm like,
do
go on, what are you gonna
it.
do? What are you
Yeah.
gonna do about it? I was like, go on then.
Brilliant.
I was like, I've got like put things on a poster.
Yeah.
FND be like, you know that floor, you're gonna hit it.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I mean, I
it
love
hasn't
the
happened
outlook of this.
since.
It's good. Like you're challenging it. Like it's the sort of its own entity. No, it's brilliant. You've got an absolutely amazing outlook, and lots of people could sort of learn from you and sort of share your positivity. And I think that could be so negative and down. And I'm sure there are hard days, but it's good
Yeah.
that you do have a good outlook.
It's kind of like, I would say it's very balanced, a weird balance between negative and positivity. I kind of just like, I don't even know, it's just my humor and like, I've got dark humor and apparently very deadpan humor and pun
That's
humor.
bad.
All my puns. My puns are
Have a
hilarious.
pun.
My friend Lee, he messaged us, he sent us like a full-on voice message. He went, I
No.
was walking to the shop and a leaf hit us in the face. I was like, I can't believe it.
That's a good one.
And I was saying that to my grandma, and she was like, "That is too good."
I love that.
Yeah, it's sometimes just the humor just comes out without even thinking, and I'm like, "Oh, that was actually
That was really good. I like it. It's bad, but it's good.
yeah." There was another time where my friend we were in the middle of like JG Windows, and I was saying about how like Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac can play like loads of instruments, and my friend goes, "What can't he do?" I was like, "Keep Stevie Nicks."
You're on fire.
But sometimes I literally make him cry. Like he was crying the other day with laughter because I just kept going.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh, it's definitely my kind of humor.
Yeah, honestly, when you're around us and I'll just randomly drop some humor. Somebody's got tears in their eyes.
Oh, that's
Somebody,
brilliant. Oh, no, that. I love
I
that.
should do stand up. I
You
should do,
should.
like
You'd be an
if
amazing
I do the
comedian.
event next year, I'll
Do it.
literally go start doing stand up in the middle of the thing. I'll be
An
like,
hour of
yeah,
puns.
yeah, I'll just randomly drop things, just like the FND,
But
just like my legs. My legs like to drop. Just like the humor.
oh, that's brilliant. I've got to stop laughing. I've only got 3 minutes left, and I've
I know.
it's like, hey, honestly, like, feel free to send me any puns anytime. I'm more than
I
well.
will if I actually come out with any and remember them because sometimes it's like straight out,
Yeah.
gone, doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, but
Yeah.
at least, hopefully, you have time to enjoy your puns when that happens.
Yeah, I do. But sometimes it's like it comes at the wrong time. Or like my friend will fire back at it and
Yeah.
I'll be drinking a drink and I'll just be sitting there like, yeah.
Just
Sometimes
chuckle
it
it.
just hits too much at the wrong time.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm
Makes
just
it
like,
funnier.
why? I'm like, why when I'm drinking something, I'm not going to spit it out everywhere.
Hold it, hold it. Psh, everywhere.
Talk to spit it out. Spit on that thing.
Oh, that's funny. What would you say are your proudest moments? And sorry, I don't know why you just got me going now. What would you say are your proudest moments and biggest achievements?
Surviving the year,
That's no, that's a pretty good achievement.
making it to 25. I
Again, another
think
big
that's it.
achievement.
I
No,
think that's
they're
probably
good.
it.
Hey,
Yeah.
they're big achievements. No, I completely agree with it, and I hope and I'm sure that you will survive to 26 as well and survive 2025.
Well, no, I don't even think that far ahead. I'm
You'll
mentally 16.
you'll survive for the next hour. There you go.
Yes, that
Hopefully longer.
sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's no bridges close, so it's all right.
That's good to hear. What would you what are your wishes for the future and what would you like to achieve? I know you said you don't think too far ahead.
Um, Still surviving. I don't know. My wish is to not spend as much on things because it's becoming a problem and there's not enough space. That's my wish.
That's a really, really good wish. And like, why not? It doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't mean it have to be like if it's important to you, then that's the main thing. But I just
Mhm.
want to say thank you so much for being a guest, Lola. Honestly, this has been absolutely a brilliant conversation. And thank you to everyone listening. And just spread the love. And I know this is cheesy, but spread the love and we should be accepted and inclusive every day and be